to specify that the old boy... Cool. All right, well, I'm going to grab a drink, but first let me react to this shit, because I didn't realize there was, like, a video. This seems fun. Why are there even 6 that... Who the fuck... Who... I'm shocked it's not more disliked. That's ridiculous. All right.
Hey, folks, you may have seen a while
Hey,
back
folks.
that YouTube announced it...
Sorry.
Hey, folks, you may have seen a while back that YouTube
Hey,
announced
folks.
it was experimenting with making dislike counts private to only the creator of the video.
Hey, folks.
Now, if you're like me, you were surprised by that. I mean, I've always thought seeing the number of dislikes on a video helps us know as viewers if it's a good video or not, if it's a helpful tutorial or not, or if what a creator is saying in their video is generally agreed with or not. But unfortunately, research teams at YouTube have found there's this whole other use for disliking a video that I had never experienced as a creator, and you may not have either. Apparently, groups of viewers are targeting a video's dislike button to drive up the count, turning it into something like a...
Well, okay. I mean, you can still... Okay. What?
A game with a visible scoreboard.
It's gamers!
And it's usually just because they don't like the creator or what they stand for. That's a big problem when half of YouTube's mission is to give everyone a voice. So earlier in 2021, YouTube experimented with making the public dislike count private to see if it would help reduce these coordinated dislike attacks across the platform. And after analysis, they did see a reduction.
Yeah. If you made the like button private, you would probably see a reduction in likes. Like, I don't understand. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're pretending it's about creators, but like the most disliked videos I consistently see are from like corporate news channels. And even government run ones like CBC News Channel, like anytime they talk about vaccines especially, they get dislike bombed. But like it's still not a good enough reason to get rid of the dislike button if you can dislike bomb something. Like it's still a reflection of either how people feel or how, I don't know, bot farms feel, maybe. I don't know. Like the problem is like there still needs to be some way to understand how people thought about a video in some form other than just looking at the comments section, which is arguably much more cancerous than a dislike bombing, right? And the likes and dislikes, do they not influence how the video is found in the algorithm? Like, is the whole reason that that's a thing is so that better content can be promoted, right? I don't know. So, like, if they're keeping the algorithm thing and people know about that, then theoretically people will still dislike bomb something. It's very silly. Why, if you're going to get rid of the dislike button, you should get rid of the like button too, because that's just the only reason a like button exists on its own. Like, the only function it serves is basically just the same as a view count. Yeah, like individuals can set their videos to not display likes and dislikes. Like a news channel can do that, like, or a person even being targeted can do that, which is like the biggest reason why this is silly, right? Because it's already up to the creator. Dislikes also promote a video? No way. I don't believe you. Well, I don't know. I have no idea.
So
it's just any engagement, I guess.
The update from YouTube is that...
Yeah, you're right. All they're doing is removing the choice. which is really silly.
That the dislike button is staying, but the dislike counts will now be private.
Why can't I, like, if I want to choose to have mine public, I can't. That's so silly. Why don't you just, like, default to them not displaying and then people can opt in to having them display or something? Like, that's so silly. That's so stupid. I don't like this.
You can still dislike videos and that action will be...
It's just like, nobody wants this. Clearly there has to be some sort of, like, conspiracy, corporate interest in this happening, right? Because no real person wants this. They're pretending as it, like, they're giving us this image of, like, a bullied trans person or something, pretending like that's the reason why it's happening, but it's totally not. You know?
Used to tune your own recommendations, but you won't be able to see the dislike count. Only the creator can find it on the back end if they want.
If they want.
A few common questions we saw from the initial experiment. First, without a public dislike count, how can viewers tell if a video is worth watching? Again, I kind of have this question too, but it turns out that while viewers might use the dislike count to give them a sense of a video's worth, when the teams looked at the data across millions of viewers and videos in the experiment, they didn't see a noticeable difference in viewership, regardless of whether they could see the dislike count or not.
It doesn't matter whether or not it results in a difference in viewership. It's not about the amount of views, it's about the type of people watching it and how they're able to curate it on a personal level. If I want to personally see whether or not something has a lot of, like... When I look at a CBC video just casually mentioning that there are vaccines that exist or something related to COVID, and I see that people have dislike bombed that, that's very useful information to me. Like, it's not going to influence whether or not I watch the video, sure, but it's crazy to like, it's eye-opening and sobering to be like, wow, there's a shit ton of people that are dislike bombing this, or maybe it's a bot farm. Either way, that's something to think about. That's just information. Yeah, it could be a scam, but that's information that I value, right? And so to take away the ability for me to be aware of that information, you're making us less aware, is what you're doing, and they've heard every argument. They don't give a shit. When they announced this, like, what was it, 3 months ago or some shit? Thank you for the sub. They announced this, like, how long ago? And everybody gave every argument to them that they could possibly, like... All right, so what? Like, people are just gonna, like... Could upload, like, a fucking jump scare video and disable comments? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm trying to think of, like, worst case scenarios, situations that could arise of this. It's probably not as, like, alarmist as I'm being, but it's really annoying, and nobody wants this. It's frustrating to be a part of a platform where they just actively go against what everybody wants them to do. It doesn't really feel like a community, or like they have the community's interests at heart, I mean.
In other words, it didn't really matter if a video had a lot of dislikes or not, they still watched. Next common question, if creators can still see the dislike count on the back end, how's that any different? They can see it if they look for it inside Studio Analytics under the Engagement tab. But overall, it's much less likely to cause stress and embarrassment if the count isn't visible to the public.
But they can just remove it, like, they can disable it across the channel if they want.
And one more common question, is this because YouTube Rewind got lots of dislikes?
Ha!
No. Although...
The fact that they had to say it, the fact that they thought it was, like, a common enough of an actual belief that they had to get ahead of it and acknowledge it. They're like, guys, this is not about YouTube. That's so much funnier than not saying anything. That's so funny. This is the funniest shit. Oh my god.
Question, is this because YouTube...
Who told him that needed to be included in the video? is my question. I want to know. I want to know who told him that that was information that needed to be in this video to communicate to people. That's really funny.
Rewind got lots of dislikes? No. Although there are some teams internally who have learned the hard way what it feels like to get lots of dislikes. Now, this again is about protecting all creators and making sure they have a chance to succeed and feel safe in doing so.
This
All
is
right,
not.
so that's the update. I hope it doesn't
You
cause
piece of
too
shit.
much
I
frustration.
mean, sorry.
Honestly, I think
you person I disagree with. As when I said you, it wasn't the individual. It was about YouTube as a company, as a corporation that I disagree with. That's what I meant. Sorry, that just came out. I apologize.
Going to get used to it pretty quickly, and keep in mind other platforms don't even have a dislike button. So consider that. Thank you, and I hope you're well.
Yeah, honestly, like YouTube, if this is about like the mental health of your creators, there's a lot of other fucking things you could be doing to help the mental health of your creators, you know? There's a lot of other you could fix some of your broken fucking systems, you know? You could stop like demonetizing my videos and channels for literally no reason. That like legitimate that legitimately has negatively impacted my mental health far more than any dislike.
Thanks for watching. Here are the Patreon credits for November 2021. Wholesome 100 Big Chungus Lemonade Warrior, Big Weld from Robots the Animated Movie, Serazer, Dwyer Tarantino, Jacob Arndt, Zachary Kane, Samjul, Chi.exe, Gothic Sith, Mandel Bro, Kel Hunt, Wales, Bo the Doggo, Kai Butcher, Gabriel Herrera, Splat, Hoofido, and Ocean Machinery. Reminder that there's a Criterion sale at Barnes & Noble going until the 29th of this month, which will include the 4K releases of Citizen Kane and Uncut Gems as pre-orders. I'm not sponsored by Criterion, but I know a lot of Adam's fans are really big into that kind of thing, so I thought I'd give you a heads up. Bye.